Wagwan people, we are back for another Fourever Arsenal. My voice is a bit croaky today because I've got a bit of a cold, and especially being out in that freezing cold last night for the game, but it was all worth it because Arsenal got a big win. And here to discuss it, we've got the usual panel, Curtis, Jack, and of course Lee Judges in the building. How you guys all feeling?
Very, very good. You know what I mean? Having to do it from remote because of certain person, can't be bothered to make it, you know. But I'm not too bothered, like, you know. So what have you got to say for yourself?
I would like to actually, you know, there's a bit of stick that I might have given to Robbie, for example, last episode for his opinions on that draw. But I'd like to hold my hands up and say, you know what, guys, these three here in particular have done me well today. They've let the pod go on from remote. So sorry we're not in the studio. Comments, it's on me today. Don't blame Robbie. It was on me. So yeah, thank you guys.
It was on time as well, though. I have to say, like, you know, that's good. Like, you know, no one blaming traffic or, you know, trains or anything like that. I've put myself into that category. Everybody here on time. That's what I like. I like efficiency. Well done.
We'll take the positives.
Yeah, we take the positives, and guys, it was it's kind of positive all round, right? Before we even get stuck into our game, you know what made me laugh yesterday? The Chelsea game. These Chelsea fans giving it to Arsenal fans after the game. And I remember saying to a Chelsea fan at Stamford Bridge, I'm like, bro, I understand why you guys are feeling good about that draw, because anytime you're down to 10 men and you survive it, you know, you got out with a point. We felt, remember that time at Man City, we kind of felt the same way. However, I remember saying to him, you guys needed to win that game more than us to close that gap to within 3 points. Now it's still 6 points and you're under pressure. And then they go and lose last night to Leeds. 3-1 as well. And Caicedo, you know, as I was saying to some of the Chelsea fans, he cost you lot with his craziness. They didn't want to blame him. They were all trying to, you know, say, oh, no, that's how it is. That's how he plays. But that's the difference between him and Rice. Rice keeps his head. Rice is better at his tackling, is cleaner, right? And look, they lost the game. I think they said they've only won 23% of games when he's not playing for them since he's arrived. Crazy.
Can I just make a point, right? A slightly different angle. I felt with Chelsea losing last night that justified how we was acting on Monday, because I looked at that and thought, Leeds have just smoked Chelsea 3-1 with 11 men. Cole Palmer coming on. So surely the mighty table-topping Gunners should have beaten with 10 men. So, Robbie, Robbie, I think that's 1-0 to the lads on Monday. Yeah. I'm just going to be honest.
No. So then hold on.
Thank you very much, Leroy.
I'm interjecting there, right? Because I was getting a lot of backing last night as well.
What, from the Greek goddess?
The Greek goddess.
I wouldn't call him a Greek god.
I dare you to tell him that to his face. I tell you, he's a serious guy. But what Curtis, you should be a politician, because what you also failed to do there is mention the fact that they were missing players like Reece James, who didn't play. He was the man of the match for them in that game, who can't play more than one game in a week. They were also missing Fofana, right? They had to bring in that Tosin who made an absolute howler of a mistake. So they were missing some key players, right? And that's why as well. And that's another reason why, for me, I look at Chelsea, and I've been saying it all along, whilst they're a very, very good team, I don't think they could sustain that title challenge over the season. They did it last year. Last year, they got off to a great start of the season, and then they got around that Christmas period and they fell apart. I think they lost to Ipswich, remember? And then they just started going like that.
Ipswich's first win, wasn't it?
So I think it's going to be between us and City. That's what it's going to boil down. And even they struggled against Fulham, but they got the points, and that's all it's about.
By the way.
I still look back on, you know, like, listen, fantastic result yesterday. You know, we knew it was going to be tough, but I still look at that game against Chelsea as a missed opportunity. That's all I'm saying. I don't think we're going in on the team and all that. It was a poor we didn't play well. I looked at yesterday's game. It was all about getting the result. I don't think we played that well yesterday, but who cares? We got the result, and I think if we'd have played like that and got the result against Chelsea, I think none of us would have been complaining. It was just I do look at it as a missed opportunity, because that would have put us, a couple of given an opportunity. I thought yesterday, to a degree, we was given an opportunity with Brentford making a few changes to their team, and I'm going to say this now. So impressed with them yesterday. I got in last night and watched back the extended highlights. They're a very, very good team, and they rested players yesterday, probably more than us, or more. I would say more of their key players than us, and still put in a performance. And I felt that yesterday was all about getting the result, and particularly after what happened with Man City the day before, there was a little bit of pressure on Arsenal yesterday, put on by ourselves. That's all I'm saying. I think like we'd have gone into that game beating Chelsea. I think we would have been a little bit more relaxed yesterday, and I felt it would have been a little bit more free flowing. I felt there was a little bit of pressure on Arsenal yesterday, but my word, they responded fantastically well and got the result. And again, I'm going to have to praise Mikel Arteta. People were saying, certain people are saying, don't rest there, play your full strength team, don't make changes and all that. He made the changes. I said about Ben White, by the way, and wow, he never let me down. I let Arsenal down yesterday. Considering he's hardly played, that was a brilliant performance from him at right back, and went 90 minutes as well. And he might have to do it again on Saturday as well, if because I think if it does, I think Timber will probably go in central defence. How good is he, by the way? And also, I have to say that I don't know how you guys felt about this. I thought that when Mascara went off, I thought he was going to put Ben White in at right back. In at central defence, and Timber at right back. He didn't, Another decision that he gets right under a bit of pressure, boys, Mikel. He seems to be getting those pressure decisions right this season, where I felt in the last couple of seasons he hasn't, and I feel that he's learning. And I thought that was a good performance last night, boys. I know it ain't like we want to win 4-5-0, but I thought get the job done it. I thought that was a more telling performance, certainly, than Sunday.
Can I just say quickly yesterday, and I know we've spoke about this guy a lot, and I've had mixed feelings about his time at Arsenal, but Merino yesterday, genuinely, if you signed a striker for 60 million quid and he played like that, you'd say he looks a hell of a signing. Like his movement for that goal across the defender, his link-up play for Saka's goal as well. The only crazy thing he did in the game was that horrendous dive that he did in the second half when he tried to get a penalty around the goalkeeper. I don't know what he was doing, but he has really come up clutch. Like I think Gyökeres is not getting straight back into this team at the moment. He's probably gonna have to wait a little bit. And even with Havertz, you're now looking at Havertz as the backup striker going, if Merino's that good up front and Havertz is the top paid player at the club, is there room to, I don't know, could you move him on? And I'm not sure, but Merino for me, I think has just been brilliant in this striker role. I think he's actually rescued his Arsenal career, because I think in midfield we've been a little bit underwhelmed compared to his Spain performances, but up front he's been fantastic, and his goal yesterday was brilliant. What a move as well. A little flip from Noni and the cross from Ben White. So, yeah, quality from Merino.
Yeah, I think it's another credit to Mikel Arteta as well, like Lee was saying, because I remember when I first saw Merino on that team street as a number 9, and I was thinking, like, what is going on here? Like, surely not. Why don't we play Martinelli or Trossard through there or something like that? And I feel like every game he plays up front, he just like proves me wrong every time and time again. Because I don't know how it is. I don't want to like Merino in the way that he plays as a footballer. The footballers I like enjoy watching, and then technical, small, tight space area footballers, he's just not that at all. He can be a bit slow. He can be a bit like uneasy to look at on the turn, and he can give the ball away a few times. But in that like 5-6 yard box, he's like R9. I don't know how to describe it. I think Curtis described it well. Like his movement, it's not even the finishing or the heading. It's like the way he got across Pinnock last night. That was like a prime like Edison Cavani like darting run across the front post, and it's like you can't teach that. Like he's somehow been born with that and only discovered he had it at late 20s in his career on his 4th, 5th club. So I'm not sure where he was hiding that the whole time. But yeah, I mean, I'm not complaining. I thought Gyökeres again. He came on. I don't know how to like. I just feel like he's got to want it a bit more. Like, obviously, I know he's been out injured and it's only his second time back on the pitch, but he's been coming on and it seems like he's almost like accepted he's the sub. I want him to come on and sort of grab the game and go, hold on a minute, guys. Like, yeah, but it's the intention. It's the intention behind what he's doing. Like, I don't know how to do, even when he missed the when Timber took it off his head against Chelsea, I don't know, his body language, his attitude, and then when he missed when Saka missed the open goal, the tap in, the rebound one. I don't know how to describe. He just looks a bit like even he can't believe Merino's doing what he's doing. I just wanted a bit more. He's our main guy, you know. Gyökeres, big summer signing. I know he's been injured, of course. I'm not talking about that side, but he's back in the team now. I want him to like grab the shirt off Merino. I want him to take it off Merino's neck and go like, mate, you're not having that. Get back on the bench. I just want a bit more. Right, I know it's only cameos, but I just want it more in his body language, his attitude. Not his. I don't expect him to score 5 goals in 5 minutes, but
no, yeah, that's what I'm going to say. Yeah. Well, you should be getting a hat trick in 5 minutes. You know what I mean? Like,
it's the body language, man.
You lot, I tell you, man. Jesus Christ, man.
We're striving for a title.
Guys supposed to do in 5 minutes.
No settling for points. No settling for points.
The guy's supposed to do in 5 minutes, man. I mean, I can't even assess him because he literally came on and just like see the game out. He didn't even. I don't even know if he had a chance. What's he supposed to do? What body language? What did he do wrong?
It's just the way I looked at him. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. It's more the thing of like, I don't know. He looked a bit deflated coming on. It might just be me. It was against Chelsea as well as this game. I don't know. He does look like he's lost a bit of weight though. He does look a bit slimmer, which I don't know, might help him. But yeah, in terms of the overall performance, it was a good performance. I thought Brentford had spells as well. They're quite like well organised. They had some spells, especially in that first half, keeping the ball quite well. I think we benefited of them having rested a few players as well. Although I don't think that Igor looked too great when he came on. I think our centre backs did well with him. Hincapié looked a lot better. I know I was a bit critical of him against Chelsea. He looked a lot more comfortable, a lot more settled, especially he had to swap centre-back partnerships with Timber coming in as well. And then, yeah, like Lee said, I think my man of the match, Ben White, I think, never doubted Benny Blanco, but to come in and just do it again, 90 minutes, and just show what he is capable of doing, I think it's big for our season, especially with Timber going forwards. There's going to be games where Timber needs resting, got cup fire, semi-finals coming up, Champions League games, etc. I think Ben White staying fit is definitely going to be key.
No, I just want to go back to what I was saying about Chelsea, right? Like, couple of changes they made. Just, you know, again, when we sort of have a go, and I know we, like you said, they were down to 10 men. Couple of changes for Chelsea. They get battered 3-1 away at Leeds, right? Remember, we went into that Chelsea game with changes, without our centre back pairing, with players missing. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Couple of changes, couple of players out, and they're not the same team. So that just goes to show you that how well that squad's performing. Like you guys said, I was so happy for Ben White yesterday. I thought he's absolutely brilliant, really was. And like you guys said, Merino, this guy has been sensational since he's come into that forward position. It's also his finishing. I mean, that header, the way he headers it down, that gives the keeper no chance of saving it. His finishing is amongst the best in the club. We got 2 unheralded players at the moment that are stealing the show at Arsenal this season. Him and Trossard. They've been absolutely brilliant. And I know in the past, Lee has been very, very, very critical of Merino. But even he now has to admit that Merino is a top player, right? Because you've gone in on him. Hold on. I was sent something, right? By Ryan. You know, Ryan always comes up with some gems. Let's see this one.
Where's our midfield now? Where are you, Merino? Where are you? Oh, there you are. 10 yards behind. Fucking hell, Arteta. What do you see in him?
Mate, I'll be going crazy.
Miles off it, man. Miles off
it.
Bro, I thought you was going to bite the sofa.
Did you see the thing there in that clip? In that clip, where was he playing?
Well done, Ryan.
I'll tell you that, Ryan. I'm telling you that now. Like, give me Joe every day of the week. I'm telling you, that's all I'm saying. But he was playing midfield then. Listen, in my defence, he was playing midfield then, and I don't think, you know, that's what we bought him for. If I'll be really honest, a midfield player, and he wasn't doing himself justice. But since he's gone up front, as Curtis said, from January to now, I think he's been brilliant for us. So 2 goals against Leicester were unbelievable. And listen, in football, you can change your opinion and you change your mind. And I have done. But I'm not having him as a midfield player. But in saying that, I think even because of his performances up front, has given him a little bit more confidence. Even he dropped into midfield yesterday and done a job, done okay, like, you know what I mean? Great pass. Listen, I think and that's what's great about football, and a player can make you change your opinion. I think since last January, and I'll tell you what, and I'll give him the credit for this, we needed someone last January. We was in absolute dire straits last season in January. We didn't have, all of our forwards were gone down injured, if you remember rightly. And I think it was not January, it was in beginning of February, wasn't it? Like Kai Havertz went down and we had nothing. We'd gone in the transfer window and didn't go and buy anybody, which everybody was going crazy about. So we went to that game against Leicester with nothing, not one striker at the football club. For him to do what he'd done to get us to the Champions League semi-final, I don't think that gets the credit it deserves, really, like, you know, because of the criticism of not getting a striker and all that. He has, I think, kept Arsenal afloat for last season. You know, what other team goes into the season now? You take all their forwards away, and I can't see it done. So he's done an unbelievable job for us, and love and behold, we've got no forwards again for a few weeks. He's come in, like since Burnley, we had no forwards. He's come in and he's been again scored goals. You know, and I tell you what, that you're right, Curtis. That goal yesterday, we sort of took it for granted. But I tell you what, a lot of players in our team would have missed that. Wouldn't score that goal. You know what I mean? There's not many players in our team score that goal. You know what I mean, from that position. So listen, credit there. I think he's not a midfielder for me. This is his position, and at the moment, you know, he's got the shirt, and credit to him, like, you know, credit to him.
It's been a great signing. He's been one of our best signings when you think about it, because he didn't cost a lot. And he's been excellent. You know what I mean? Like you said, imagine if he weren't around last season, right? You know what I mean? Who would have played that position? He's been absolutely brilliant. And his finishing is so underrated. Lee, I've got another thing to ask you, right? Because we were doing the player ratings last night. I don't know if you saw that. You guys can go and watch it.
I will watch it on the train.
Right? You guys can go and watch it, right? Now, when I said that you... well, actually, I'm not going to say who you gave it to. Actually, let me ask... I want to ask Jack and Curtis who was their man in the match. And listen, it's subjective. It doesn't mean that... But who was your man in the match, Curtis?
I would probably have gone for Ben White or Merino, innit, really? I'd have probably just give it Ben White just because he's been out for so long. He's come out of the cold, you know, and it was a really top performance. I'd give it him just, but maybe Merino.
Okay. What about you, Jack? Who did you give it to?
Yeah, exact same. Ben White, just what he done. Merino. I also like Hincapié after a bit of a flaky start at Chelsea. So good shouts, but yeah, Ben White definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I mine was Ben White as well. It was to me, it was between him and Merino for me. But Lee, tell them who you gave it to, because when it was when we was doing the player ratings and I revealed to the other guys who you gave it to, they were all astounded and were trying to work out how comes you come to this conclusion. So tell us, you know, in your fan cam, who you gave man in the match to. And we would like you to explain the reason why, because not that he had a bad game, but I was just surprised.
Listen, I did say that my man of the match was probably Merino for his goal.
No, hey.
My man of the match yesterday, I thought was outstanding, and I'll stick by it, was Calafiori. I thought he was brilliant yesterday. And also what I will say about Calafiori, what he had to do yesterday, and people don't appreciate this, the back three was a backup back three. He was the only one in there of what you would say was the first choice defender of the four, yeah? So what I looked at that and I think, right, you have to step up and be the best you can possibly be. And I thought he was. I thought he was brilliant. I thought
better than Ben White.
I thought. Look, listen, you know what I think of Ben White. I think he's outstanding for his first game back. I thought he was brilliant. I have to say, but I just think that you have to go into leadership and all that. And I thought Calafiori was right on it from the word go.
Better than Merino. Better than Merino.
Merino done things in moments, you know what I mean? He did fall over when he had an open goal. I'm not having a go at him when I say that, you know what I mean? He could have parried the game for us a lot earlier by putting it wide. Listen, they were all. Listen, I agree that probably I didn't think actually Ben White was unbelievable until I watched it back. You know what I mean? And you just realise that. Look, listen. Can you give a man of the match for someone because he's been out for a while? You know what I mean? I thought Odegaard's work rate was tremendous yesterday, by the way. I'm not so sure. Listen, before you start going on about and having a go at me about Calafiori, Mr. Lyle, you know what I mean? We was in the studio yesterday, and when I said about playing Ben White, I was brushed aside, you know what I mean? By Christian, you know, the best team in the world, Christian, you know what I mean? And all of a sudden saying, no, we can't afford not to play Ben White, can't play Ben White. Well, Ben White come in and produced, and that's what you want. But I stand by. I thought Calafiori was outstanding. Did he not have a good game?
He was good. He was good. He went on that run as well, didn't he? He went on one of them Declan Rice, Yaya Toure runs towards the end.
Free shots, Jack.
It was that rebound. He was good. He was good.
He was all over the place yesterday.
I get what you're saying. In the way that Ben White played to Calafiori's level for the first time in a while, so we're sort of well done, Ben White. We knew he had it. Whereas Calafiori's got this expectation where he's got to perform like that every game, so we take it for granted a bit, I guess. Like you said, where he's off normal first choice left back, he's already at that level. So maybe we put a bit more spotlight on Benny Blanco, where he's not played in a while. And yeah, he was good. He was solid. Nothing wrong. I think that run was really good. The way he did the fake shot and then had a take on the right foot. He's had a few of them amazing runs.
He was everywhere yesterday, Jack. He really was. And I'll tell you what, the biggest thing I know, and the biggest compliment, there were a lot of fans saying he was a bad signing last season. What have we bought him for? He's not this. His defending this season has gone up a notch. You know what I mean? That cross diagonal ball that comes, he wins it every single time. You know what I mean? He just locked down that left hand side. I thought he was brilliant yesterday. I do maybe I've gone overboard with the man of the match thing. I don't know, but I thought he was very, very good yesterday.
What a save by Raya as well, man.
Oh,
wow.
Right.
The only thing he had to do, boy.
Key moment as well, wasn't it? Because they looked dangerous from set pieces. They had 8 corners yesterday, and their delivery was quite good as well. And when you see how close the guy was, for him to just tip that onto the ball, was vital. Because I always like to get your guys' opinion because, being in the ground, when we went 1-0 up so early, I'm thinking, here we go. Floodgates are going to open here again. I'm thinking, at least get the second. You can take Rice off after 60 minutes. The longer that game went on, I started to feel a little bit uncomfortable in my chair. Are these not going to equalise it? And obviously, Saka scores at the end. Saka missed that sitter, didn't he? I think, was it Calafiori's shot and the rebound came to him. And then, even on the goal, I'll be honest, because I'm getting my comments getting a bit heated on my watch along, because when Saka cut inside, I was shouting for him to give it to Gyökeres because Gyökeres had an open goal. And then Saka shoots. Obviously, Keller palms it over his head. I thought he'd missed it. And then obviously it bounced and went over the line. I was like, okay, I'll let you off, because we needed that second goal. But it felt like we made harder work of it than we needed to. But it was good to keep a clean sheet. I was seeing Arteta say we haven't kept a clean sheet since Slavia Prague. The last 4 games we've conceded, which has obviously been unlike us. So I think Keith Andrew did us a bit of a favour. I think he looked at Arsenal and Tottenham. They played both of those teams within 3 days. He probably looked at the Arsenal game and thought, not really likely to get anything out of that. So he left Henderson, Hickey, Thiago, Damsgaard all on the bench. And like Lee said, I thought they still played really well with a lot of their best players missing, which is credit to them. But yeah, it was good to keep a clean sheet. Good that Rice obviously has come out in this Sky interview and said that it was just a knock, because when I seen him on the floor, I'm telling you now, I was saying, bro, we are in big trouble going to Villa Park, because Villa are losing 2-0. So I'm like, Villa are a mess. Emi Martinez got injured in the warm-up, so I'm like, they're going to have no Emi. They're 2-0 down. They obviously fought back and won 4-3, and Emery was sort of buoyant at the end of the game, saying, the form that they're in. So, yeah, it's good that Rice is available. It's going to be a big test on Saturday, man. I'm really hoping that Saliba and maybe Trossard's back. Because I think the one slight negative of last night, and I don't like cherry picking, I just thought Martinelli yesterday he just wasn't at it. He's had that sort of head down run performance where losing the ball a little bit, and obviously Trossard's kind of set a high standard on that left-hand side lately. It'd be interesting what he does with Odegaard and Eze against Villa as well in that attacking midfield role.
I thought he looked good on the left, Eze. I thought he looked quite comfortable when he came on the left. There's a couple combinations with him. I thought he looked better on that left with Odegaard than he did as the 2-10s in the last game. I think he looked had a bit more freedom there. People doing the running for him when Merino dropped back into midfield as well. But I want to talk about David Raya as well that Robbie mentioned. Is David Raya the best goalkeeper we've had at the Emirates?
Yeah, I think he is. Him and Emi, really, I would say. The standard ain't been that high, really.
The standard's not high. But that's what I was thinking. I can't remember, obviously, Chesney, Almunia.
Easily the best for me.
So yeah, that's a big credit to David Raya as well. He's come in. I know a lot of us were
not really.
I was a bit shaky about bringing him. So Leno, I don't know.
What'd you say, Lee?
The standard has not been very high on the goalkeeping situation.
No, but his standard's been high because he's won.
Yeah, I put Raya
Golden Glove 2 years in a row.
Yeah,
he's not. Forget comparing him to the goalkeepers that we had. Compare him to every other goalkeeper in the league. He's done it. He's had that accolade for 2 years in a row since he's come in. His distribution is excellent. He claims crosses brilliantly. His reflexes are unbelievable. I mean, yesterday, that was an unbelievable save. And he doesn't really let us down, does he? He's had moments, but he doesn't have many of them. You know what I mean? He's a very reliable goalkeeper. I think he's one of the best. I think it was Courtois said the other day, isn't it? He's one of the best goalkeepers in Europe.
I think he is. I think Martinez is probably the better goalkeeper, but he's starting to make lots of mistakes now, isn't he? And not being. I think this is his third injury this season already. I don't really know what's going on there. But I'm with you. I think Raya. Martinez's performances when he first came into the team, I think was absolutely sensational when he first came into the team. And very, very harsh to be sold. But I think then Ramsdale came in Raya's gone up a level. He's gone up a level. I can't believe he's not regular in the Spanish team. That Simons must be some goalkeeper. That's all I'm saying. But yes, which is the credit to Arsenal and credit to him, I suppose. Didn't really have a lot to do yesterday. We kept them very, very quiet for the most of it. But the one thing he had to do was sensational. It's when they say our goalkeeper saves you 10 points and that, well, that's 2 points. Perish before I don't want to think about it. If that would have gone in, I don't know how we would have reacted to that. I don't know, you know what I mean? So I think it's an unbelievable save at a really, really important time as well, because I think you're right what you're saying, Curtis. I always thought we was going to win the game, see it out. I weren't a couple of my mates next to me were panicking, and I was going, "Damn, look, you got to have faith in this team and all that, And then there was one right at the end when the cross come over, and I did sort of have to go and change my pants. But I think that he didn't have a great deal to do, and but when he done it. And listen, when you get through our defence, whether it be from a set piece or whatever, Raya does make some great saves now, and I think he's definitely up there, and again, it won me over because I weren't a lover when he first come in. I'll be honest, I was more in the Ramsdale camp, and when he was coming in, he wasn't impressive. But since he sold Ramsdale, I think Raya's gone right up. right up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
And then you see Ramsdale the other night as well at Newcastle.
Yeah, there's a doubt in it, isn't it? I am looking at that.
Yeah.
And do you think Raya would have saved that? And I think he probably would have.
Yeah.
You
I would
know
hope
what I mean?
so.
You know what? Can I just say, you know, last night there was a lot of discussion in my chat about Odegaard. Some people saying, you know, too many touches, not hurting the opposition. Some people saying played well, everything went through him. What's your opinion of like Odegaard? And I know he's just come back from injury, but it was a very similar performance that we've seen from him. Do you think he's in our best team at the moment, or would you pick Eze ahead of him?
For me, looking at that, and what you're saying, what was all your people said in your chat is right. I think there was some good things. He did hold on to the ball a little bit. I think you got to give credit to him. He's come back, hardly played, 90-minute shift like that. It wasn't easy for the attacking players yesterday because we made changes as well. I thought he was okay yesterday. I didn't think he was sensational, but I thought he was okay. But I hear what you're saying. Okay ain't good enough to get you a regular spot in this team no more. He's got to be better than okay. But was his performance better than what Eze's was on Sunday? Yeah, but it's a different game at home. I think we're going to need that work rate and the way he chased down people. I don't think that's given the credit it deserves. And I think that I'll if I'm a betting man, I'll put a lot of money on it that he starts on Saturday in that role.
Yeah, guys, let me just say, right, just looking at the table, after
what one are we looking at, Rob?
Not that table. We're going to come to that table, your table. I know you're so desperate to look at the prediction.
Yeah, Ryan's not as quick as he, not as forward with that, is he?
We will get that table up. But looking at the table, Arsenal top on 33 points. Man City in second after their 5-4 win on 28 points, 5 points behind. Villa now in third on 27 points, 6 points behind Arsenal. And Chelsea dropped down into fourth now. They're now, on 24 points. So the gap has widened there. So it was very, very important to win. But as you said, Lee, we now face a very tough game. You've been saying it for quite a while that you see this as one of the hardest games we've got coming up. It's away at Villa. We did win there last year, but we know it's never an easy place to go to. And I'll be interested to find out from you guys. Actually, before we do that, should we get the prediction table up? Let's just get that up before Lee goes mad. Here we go. I'm at the bottom.
Well done, Curtis.
Finally got off the bottom of the table. Now I'm going to kick into gear now.
Of course, both you and Lee, Curtis and Lee predicted a 2-0. I went 3-1. I was way off. And Jack, you went 3-1 as well.
3-0.
3-0. So Lee currently top on 15. Jack on 12 points in second. Curtis now comes off the bottom on 10. I'm bottom on a 9. So I need to recover that. But that's the table at the moment. But guys, going into the game at the weekend.
He was the rebel.
All right.
Have a moment.
All right, go on. What else do you want to say?
Talk about having me moment. Hey, hello. Bang off that comes straight away. Like, come on.
Well, I thought that was brilliant.
What else do you want to say?
I thought you did that perfectly.
Well, no, carry on.
Guys, at the weekend, we face a really tough game. Away at Villa, they are the informed team in the Premier League right now. Very impressive last night to be 2-0 down at Brighton and come back and win 4-3. It's going to be a tough game. Very, very tough game. And Mosquera could be out of that. We don't know if Saliba's going to be back. I'm interested to find out from you guys actually how you feel, and what team you play.
Well, who's going to go first? I haven't really thought about
it. Go on, your top
list. You go.
I'll go first. Well, depending on injuries, I'm hoping Saliba comes back. As well as Ben White played, I'm going back to Timber at right back, Saliba, Nketiah, and Calafiori. I think Calafiori has not played midweek, and then and then played at the weekend. So that'd be interesting if he's up for it. But I think that he will be. So I'm going to go that. Midfield stays the same for me. Odegaard, Rice and Zubimendi. By the way, Zubimendi yesterday goes under the radar how good a footballer he is. My front three is Saka on the right, Eze on the left, and my main man, Merino up top,
Interesting.
Jack? I'll go. Trying to think. We'll go with a backline of Raya, Timber, Saliba if fit. If not, Timber and Ben White, how we did it last time. We don't really have any other options. In Capier, I'd go Calafiori just to get this game out of the way, and then we can rest him for Champions League. But I'm worried about if he gets injured. His injury record's not great. Like Lee said, playing 2 games in a row, quick succession, might be a much. But let's go Calafiori. Midfield, keep it the same as well. I would have rather have rested Rice yesterday, but I think now we've got him to this point, might as well get him through Villa, then just give him the week off for Bruges. So yeah, Rice, Zubimendi and Odegaard. I'd keep Odegaard in the midfield, just build up his match fitness and confidence. Front 3, I would go Eze on the left purely because I don't think Martinelli looked great, and I think the best he's looked all season is when he does come off the bench. So it'd be a good option to have against Aston Villa. I think he scored off the bench against them a few times as well. On the right, Saka, although I wanted to put Madueke there, but he annoyed me a bit last night in that he would beat his man so well, get to the box, and it was sort of that classic Chelsea Madueke of overhit cross or shot, or his corners kept hitting the first man. It's just that end product with him still. So I'll go with Saka. And then up front, I'm going Gyökeres, but Marino's going to start and prove me wrong, most likely, but I will go with Gyökeres.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, the back 4 picks itself really. It's obviously Saliba if he's fit. If not, then the same as what finished last night, which would be a test because then can Ben White play another 90 minutes so quickly as well? So I hope Saliba's back. The midfield, yeah, I'm gonna be slightly different. Rice, Zubimendi, but I would play Eze. I know I might be alone in this camp, but I like Odegaard as a player. I think he's a really talented player, but I just think for an attacking midfielder, you've got to damage the opposition more. And I think sometimes he's very good on the ball goes through him, but does he hurt the opposition? Villa are powerful in midfield as well. Anana, Kamara, McGinn, a lot of aggression. I just think Eze for those moments. I think Eze's done well apart from the Chelsea game. That was his worst game. But, a hat-trick, Bayern Munich assist. If he's available, Trossard on the left. If Trossard isn't available, I do agree with you. I would play Eze left, Odegaard in the 10. Saka on the right. And, listen, I love Gyökeres, but I think you've got to start Merino and then bring Gyökeres on later in the game. He didn't play many minutes yesterday either, which surprised me. I thought he might have got like 25 minutes. He only played like 5 minutes. So I think Merino keeps the shirt, bring Gyökeres on with 30 minutes to go.
I think I'm with your team, Curtis, as well. Like, I think I would play Odegaard in that middle because of what I do like about him when he plays there is this pressing. Is really good. He leads that. He brings energy. The one thing I do agree with you, when Eze's there was a couple of times he got the ball, for instance, on the edge of the box. He's looking for a pass. Eze, we know, will have a shot. We saw it in the Tottenham game. He'll make space and get his shot off. And again, yesterday, I saw too many of that sort of delayed shot, you know what I mean? But Eze did look good on the left, and Martinelli, like Jack said, didn't impress at all. I thought he's our worst player last night. And listen, he hasn't been playing well this season. But he didn't play very well last night. So he hasn't earned that place. And Merino has to start for me. I mean, the last 2 games, he's come up with big goals, man. I just can't see how you can leave him out. And he does seem the type of player who's scoring a game like that. You know what I mean? So for me, Merino, and then like you guys said, we got Bruges during the week. Guys like Gyökeres, you get your full run out there, get yourself back up to speed, hopefully go and get a couple of goals. But it's going to be a tough game. 12:30 kickoff. Lee's been reminding me a lot. about the 12:30. Somebody sussed out, didn't they, Lee? Who told you that?
Yeah. I've got. I think there's 4 people. I'll go through the names and do a little draw like that. 4 people. I think it was. It may be more. I'll go and check. Go through all the comments, but 4 people did get the and that fair play to them because it was difficult.
Do you want to reveal who told you? Which was the ex-footballer who told you?
Ex-footballer
at 12:30 and the reasons why.
The ex-footballer was Chelsea captain John Terry, that told me that. And the reasons why he said it was the worst one for particularly the away team is that all of your preparation is completely different. You get up earlier from the hotel. You don't sleep as well in the hotel as you do your own bed or the hotel. Say like if you're at home, you normally go to the same hotel all the time, so you're used to the surroundings and all that. And your whole routine is different. And another thing, so you look at those games, they're a little bit slow in the first half and things like that because everybody's like a little bit earlier and all that so, and it's fine margins, isn't it, in games of football, so he was the one that revealed that to me. And I actually look back and I I'm not going to disagree with him because he's done it, and I do tend to think it is a tough one, particularly for the away team. So and here we are, probably playing the best team at this moment in time on form and at home. Someone said they ain't lost at home for about 20 odd games in the Premier League, which is incredible. But we did win there last year, so very, very tough. So well done for those people, and I will do a little draw, and I will reveal the winner and send something out for you. The winner. I will send something.
Okay. Let's get everyone's predictions for that game.
Well, you ain't first, Robbie. So this is where we need.
Been waiting for that.
This is where we need the table up so we know who goes first. You know,
right,
second, third, and fourth. You know what I mean? Right. So So I go for. This is a difficult one. It
is.
I'm going to back Arsenal and go 2-1, but I wouldn't be surprised if this is a draw.
And this is why you shouldn't want this guy to win, by the way. Look how happy he gets when he's top. And you want to be trying to minus points off me. You should be backing me. I'm going to go 1-0. I think it'll be tough. I think it's scrappy Merino goal to prove me wrong yet again. 1-0.
Yeah, and do you know what? They're the 2 scores I had in my head as well.
Stick with me, Curtis. Stick with me, son.
Yeah, do you know what? I am going to stick with you. I'm going to go 2-1 to the Arsenal. I am.
That's when you go last, man. You're at a real disadvantage.
Well, that's why you got to be good.
I actually was thinking 2-1 as well. Yeah, I'm going to go 2-1 as well. Yeah. I don't know if we keep a clean sheet, but I get a feeling we can win this game. I'm going 2-1. So yeah, 2-1 I'll go. Let's also get everybody's comments of the day.
I've got mine here straight away from Saida 47874 that says the boys won, Robbie 0. On the back end of last episode, so we'll take that one.
We'll take that. I like that. Who's that from, Jack?
I don't know.
Said 487 and a couple more numbers, but yes, Said, big you up.
Plug. Well done, like
that.
I got one as well. So Superfly Jimmy said, "Well done, Robbie. You showed world-class deflection the whole episode," which I thought you did. To be fair, you know, I mean, it was. You put the shield up and fought off everything, and then agreed with us in the end anyway. So, but you're very good at
agreed with who?
No, in the end you agreed. You said 2 points drop. That's when we gave you the round of applause.
Listen, I said 2 points drop from the beginning. What I was having a go at you lot, I just think you went way over the top, as usual, with your criticism, as example by Lee, as he was discussing Merino earlier on. right? So, Lee.
No, I've just got one here from Akorme. Fred, I don't know his name. 3084. How much does Arsenal pay Robbie for always defending the club? How much are you on that? How much? What are they giving? I
want to know that they pay on
what are they doing, Rob? Are they giving a bit?
You know what I love, right? I love the fact that 1 week everybody will say I'm defending the club. Next week everybody will say, "Boy, Robbie, you always not defending the club." I can't win. I can't win. But you know what? My opinion is my opinion, and I stick by my opinions. I just felt, and I think it's been proven over the last couple of days, that people went in too harsh, right, on the performance. And now look at Chelsea. All their fans were celebrating, and as I said, I was saying to them, like Caicedo's let them down. Now they've been let down, right, because they lost. My comment is Madwana Hana. He says Robbie maintains his head better than most Arsenal fans, and I respect him for it. And he's almost
Who's that from? Josh Kroenke,
right? And he said, and he goes on to say, he is almost always right, so I trust him on this one. Right, so well done to you.
Well done, Josh. That's a good one, Josh. Well done, well done.
Right,
that's a disgraceful comment.
As I said, right, or you can go,
terrible comment.
You can rip in like what Lee did on Merino, and then as he said later on, oh, I'll change my mind. Right, it's all no good, right? Let's see if we got any voice notes. Remember, guys, send your voice notes in to us. We love to hear from you and hear what you guys have got to say. You can see there the QR code to scan on the screen, or you can just there's the WhatsApp number. WhatsApp in your messages. We'd love to hear from you, especially after that Villa game on Saturday, and get your opinions on how it went. But let's run with our first voice note.
Hi guys, it's Zubi from Warsaw. Great pod as always. So just a quick point on Jamie Carragher being the most butthurt pundit ever, and he can't stand the fact that we will be more successful than his beloved LFC this season. He has pushed his agenda far and wide. So to expose his lazy punditry, we need this stat to go viral. So listen carefully, boys. So from the past 3 seasons, that's from 22-23 up until now at game week 13, Arsenal have scored 273 English Premier League goals, and 50, I repeat, 50 are set pieces. So that's only 18% of the overall goals scored. So in terms of style, Arteta has nothing to prove. Only thing that he needs to prove is trophies. And that's my rant. Please make it go viral. Thank you very much.
I love that. It's a great point.
Spitting facts.
we didn't score again from set pieces last night. As a matter of fact, I think we've been missing the set piece threat with Gabriel, Saliba, and Kobe being out. But we, 2 goals last night, no set piece. Chelsea, no set piece. Spurs, no set piece for it.
Why have we got to defend that? Why are we defending?
Yeah, who cares?
Unbelievable. I see Chelsea score against us on Sunday, right? The place went absolutely mad. And what was it from a set piece? It was we was there, Rob. It was going crazy when they scored. I don't see why we've got to keep defending this. You know what I mean? Brentford yesterday. Credit to them. These teams. Where did Brentford look dangerous yesterday? Not in open play, because we're a lot better than them, but they look dangerous on set pieces. So what is the problem with this? I'm fed up with
jealousy.
I don't think you've got to even defend it. It's a weapon, and we use it, and we don't use it all the time and rely on it. You know what I mean? As I say, we haven't got our big guns out at the moment for set pieces, and that's probably why they've just dipped a little bit, if you be honest. But at the end of the day, so what? We're still scoring goals in open play. People said, "Oh, once Gabriel's out, oh, that's us finished." No, it's not. You know what I mean? But we're. Do you know what? If anybody on the TV starts saying about set pieces, I'm going to turn it off. I'm not interested.
Sorry, I was on mute there. I think it's a lot of jealousy.
Best thing you said all day, Rob.
I think it's a lot of jealousy. because Arsenal have come up in the last couple of seasons with this method of scoring goals, and are so good at it, it's leveled at us. Listen, long may it continue. The set pieces are a weapon in football, as we saw at Brentford yesterday, and the amount of long throws they put in, and that, fair enough. If we win games we win the league with set pieces, I'm happy. So who cares? I don't know about you guys, but I don't care.
Agree. Happy. As long as Madueke's not on the corners, though. He couldn't beat the first man last night.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh my God.
That highlighted yesterday how good Saka and Raya are and all that, because it doesn't matter what you're doing, so you've got to have the delivery. And listen, I wouldn't want him as my pizza boy. I'm telling you that now. I'll be hungry.
All right, let's get the next voice note.
Good afternoon, boys. Declan here. I actually met Lee on club level a few months ago. I believe it was Forest. Odegaard got injured when I spoke to you after the game. But yeah, question about Miles Lewis-Skelly. Do you guys feel as though the lack of playing time is affecting his confidence? And do you think his spot in the World Cup squad is in jeopardy?
They're a very good question. Very good question.
Yes. No surprise he was in club level, of course.
Yes.
I thought you was my mate Curtis, right? Like, you know what I mean? Hey, look at Robbie, he's loving that.
You've changed, mate. You've changed, honestly. You've changed, mate.
Lobster. Yeah. Not Lobster Brigade, not Prawn Sandwich Brigade, the Lobster Brigade, man. That's him. Right? Yeah. That's a good question by that guy, though, because I do think his confidence is looking a little affected. He does not quite look. Oh, he came on against Chelsea, right? It's like, don't lose your head straight away, yellow card. Like, but listen, he's got a long time and there's a lot of games. This is what I keep saying to people. Between now and the end of the season, you've got FA Cup, you've got more Champions League games, you've got all the Premier League games, you've got the fact that injuries can come in. I think he'll be back. But certainly, so far this season, he hasn't been what he was last season. I know he's only played sparingly, but Calafiori has earned that place. And right now, we just did we just all predicted our teams, and none of us had Miles Lewis-Skelly in it, despite the fact that Calafiori's just played. So he's up against it, you know what I mean? Because some of the other players in that position are playing well as well. You know what I mean? You got the kid at City, he's doing all right at the moment. And also that Hall at Newcastle is playing very well. So he's going to have to try and establish himself in the team and play really well if he is to get in that squad. But the kid's a fighter, man. And I think he'll get in the squad.
Yeah. Listen, Skelly's going through something that is very normal in football at a top club, competition. Last year it was pretty smooth sailing for him. And now Calafiori's got fit. And let's be honest, Calafiori's defending has probably been at a higher level than Lewis-Skelly this season. I suppose the issue you've got is, how long do you keep him in this situation? The same thing with Ethan Nwaneri, because they're getting minimal minutes at the moment. I thought Lewis-Skelly would get a chance in midfield, which is obviously his natural position. It doesn't seem to be happening. So I think his World Cup place is in jeopardy. He's not even in the squad at the moment. I think Tuchel said if he isn't playing regularly, he won't go to the World Cup. So it's a tough one, but he's got a battle at the end of the day, which is part of being at a top club. He's got to back himself, and like you said, Calafiori probably won't play every week. So when he gets his opportunity, he's got to take it. So yeah, it's just one of them things.
Yeah, I think we just got to remember his age as well. Like, the next World Cup, he'll still be 23. So there's still so much time for him to go on and do stuff. I think, like Curtis said it perfectly, it's just part of football. He came into the first team where we had a lot of injuries, and now the main guy who we spent a lot of money on, by the way, Calafiori, wasn't cheap, has got back to form. And Skelly will play his way back into the team, I have no doubt. And just got to remember, he's still so young. So there'll be chances for him. I'm not worried about Skelly.
Yeah, I'm the same. I feel there'd be chances for him. I'd love to see him play in Bruges in midfield to see if he could be the replacement for Declan Rice. But then you've got to rest Calafiori for that game, so he's going to have to play left back. So I do think that he needs to be playing, and at the end of it, like, you know, I don't really care about England, if I'll be honest, like if he's playing or not, but I get it from his point of view. I think, like, as Robbie said, that Lewis Hall, I've been very, very impressed with him since he's come back, and he's playing regular. I'm not convinced that the guy from Manchester City, Riley, is better than Miles Lewis-Skelly. I'm not convinced. I've seen him a few times now. I think he's decent, but I don't think that he's at the level of Miles Lewis-Skelly, if I'll be honest. I think that Miles has done better. So, listen, I think over this next month he will get his game. And the one thing I will defend him on, we're expecting like these guys like Miles to come in with hardly any football, you know, like to come in big games and then just be right at it. You know what I mean? That's very, very difficult to do, even at for an experienced player. Like Ben White done it, he's experienced, but he's a kid still learning his game and everything like that. And you're asking him to come in and be right on it. In a heated game against Chelsea when he's hardly played. So he needs minutes to get up to that standard that he can push a little bit, like, you know. So, listen, it weren't that long ago against Atletico Madrid. He was outstanding. I think, like, I'm not forgetting that performance. So I'm a big fan of his as well. Like, you know, I'm pretty sure he'll get the games, but he needs a run again. He'll play against Bruges. He'll play then, I think, the following week against Palace, so he's going to get some minutes under his belt, and then hopefully he'll get a few games over the January period as well, and I think he'll be okay. But England, I think maybe he needs to have a long run in the team, but then that means Calafiori being injured. I don't want that to happen, so he might have to miss out on England this time around.
Listen, there's one way to get into the England squad, right, and that's to be part of a Premier League winning team. You know what I mean, right? And play contribute towards that. That's what get a manager interested in you. So, you know, there's a lot of games left to be played. But thanks for everybody for sending in their WhatsApp messages. Keep them coming in. Scan the QR code there, or you've got the number there to send your messages in. We've come to the end of the show today. I think we're going to be back on Sunday because we got our game on Saturday. So look out for the show on Sunday. Big game coming up at the weekend against Aston Villa. That is a tough one. We've had a lot of tough away games. If we can navigate our way through these, sets us in good stead going into the new year. So a win at Villa would be absolutely, I mean, it'd be huge. So another big, massive game. But thanks to Jack. Thanks very much, Curtis, and also to you, Lee. And thanks to everybody. Don't forget to subscribe and to check out the show twice a week here on AFTV. Thanks to Ryan for the production, and we'll be back next week.
See you next week.